Hi, welcome to Chef Tips UK with me, Chef Ricky. First video of the year, so Happy New Year to all the folks who watch the channel. And we're really nearly 200 subscribers now. So share it to your mum, share it to your nan, share it to your dog if you have to. Get them subscribers coming in for me if you can. Right, so today we're going to do egg custard tarts. I know I was going to do something healthy, because obviously January everyone goes on a little bit of a health kick. Even myself, gone on a bit of a health kick myself. But today I'm going to treat myself a few egg custard tarts. So this is really easy. I did actually bring a food processor to do the pastry in. So we're going to make a really nice sweet pastry, or pâté sucre, as I think it's pronounced something like that in French. I might be saying it completely wrong. But I forgot the blade for it, so I'm just going to do it in a normal mixer. You can do it by hand if you want. So let's just crack on with this. We've got 250 grams of plain flour. Just bang that in there. We've got 50 grams of icing sugar. This is actually going to make more pastry than we actually need it for. But you can always double the custard recipe or chop the pastry in half, save a bit for later. It'll keep fine in the freezer. Take it out, leave it in the fridge the day before you need it. That's my extra flour for dusting, so let's not put that in there. And then we've got 150 grams of unsalted butter. So how easy is that? And then all we're going to do is blitz this together until it's a crumb, if I can remember how to use this. So I think we go like that. Might put that on high. Might get them twirly whirlies going. Get that on low. So all we're just going to do, we want to blitz this until it sort of resembles all the butters broke down into crumbs. Now in a food processor, this takes like a minute, not even that. But in this, it's probably going to take about 5 minutes. So yeah, we'll crack on doing this, and I'll see you in 5. Right, so I've left this for about 5 minutes, just for all the butter to incorporate into the flour slash icing sugar. And all we're going to do to this is just lightly beating an egg. I'm just going to drop that in there. And then I'm just going to leave that again, just to incorporate in. I might start chucking it on a bit faster, just to get it moving a bit more. And what that's going to do is just incorporate all that flour into the egg. And the egg, the liquid from the egg, is going to just make it into this really nice dough. Right, so after about 3 to 4 minutes, you should have something that sort of resembles some sort of dough. Just like that. So what we're going to do with that is we're now just going to knead it. So lightly flour your work surface and your hands. If you want to be really anal, what you can actually do is rinse your hands under cold water so they're really nice and cold. And that will really help, just because you want to keep the pastry as cold chilled as possible. So I mean, I've only just started working that lot. Then you can see it's almost there. You want it just to bring a nice smooth finish. You want to try not to add too much flour to it, but just work it just like that, just back and forth through your hands. I mean, I'm no master pastrier, whatever, patisserie, whatever you call her. I'm no master at pastries in that, but I can get through. I'm not too bad at it. So then you're left with something like that, and it's quite smooth overall. And all we're going to do is just clean that up and bang that in the fridge. Boom. Pastry done. Right, so our pastry's been in the fridge chilling for about half hour now. All I've done is I've got some little cupcake things. I can't remember what they're called. What are they called?
Cupcake cases.
Cupcake cases, they're the ones. And I've just put a few, I acquired some baking beans from the mother-in-law for Christmas. So I've just put a few of them in there, just to get them ready. I've preheated the oven to gas mark free. I'm just going to blind bake the pastry, just at gas mark free. You always blind bake at a low temperature. I know when I look at videos and they're like, yeah, I've blind baked this at 3,000 degrees. No. It's going to go back in the oven and get colour on them. We just want to firm the pastry up and crisp it up. We don't really want to put colour on it. We sort of just drying the pastry out. I've got some nice little, I use Yorkies for these, but they're kind of deep. So you want it sort of deep, sort of tray. And all I'm going to do is just butter these as best as I can. So just a little knob of butter. What you don't use, you ain't going to use that much for that. And then just swirl it round. And there we go. Just get rid of that bit there. And I'm just going to do 6. That's why I've done 6 cases. Clever, ain't I? Right, so once you've buttered up your moulds, you can get your pastry back out of the fridge, because now we actually need the pastry. And then I'm going to just chuck that away. Get my nan to pick that up later, that'll be fine. Give her something to do that well. And this is a really good if you've got one of them, you know, them really high-tech rolling pins where they actually have, like, you can set what millimetre you want to roll to. So obviously, as I always do in these videos, I drop hints to the family who never watch my videos on what I would like for birthday / Christmas. So yes, that would be a nice fancy rolling pin where I can gauge the millimetres out. Are you listening, cameraman? Yes, the girlfriend has took that advice on.
Valentine's Day.
And then I'll get presents for Valentine's Day. I'll take that. And then all we're going to do is just roll this out. I don't want to roll it out too thin. I'll tell you this for free. What I want to, look how lovely this pastry is, by the way. It's lovely, isn't it? What I want to do is I'm going to cut it out, and then I'm going to roll the pastry after I've cut it out. So I'm just going to gauge this with eye, because I've not got my nice high-tech fancy rolling pin yet. I don't want the pastry to be razor thin. So then I'm going to proceed to cut. I should get 6 out of this. Oh yeah, look at that, banging. So at the minute, look, that's quite thick. But if you look at that, look, because that's the only cutter I've got, or the biggest one, I'm going to have to roll them after. So like I said, you'll have some pastry left over. So you can always like double the egg recipe. This will probably make 12 good ones. Or what I might do is just freeze it down, because obviously I'm trying to eat healthily. So I don't want to go and smash 12 egg custards down here, to be fair. Although I would very much like to. So then all I'm going to do then is just give them another little roll. And then yeah, I'd say that's banging. I don't know how millimetres that is, because I ain't got any nice high-tech fancy rolling pin yet. And I am going to stop talking about high-tech fancy rolling pins. So I'm just winding myself up now. I mean, look at this. It looks like a bloody truncheon, doesn't it? Looks like some of the coppers used to carry in the 1800s. So yeah, once we've, as you can see, this pastry is banging. Really happy with that pastry, actually. So once I've rolled out, approximately to, I don't have an actual idea, we're just gonna fit them nicely into there. Right, so once your tarts are sort of pressed in, I know these look terrible at the minute, but like I said, we're going to trim them down anyway. We're just going to bash these into here. And then we're going to get them in the oven for about 20 minutes, gas mark free. And I actually remembered to remind you guys to preheat your ovens. Right, so now the tarts are in the oven and they're just blind baking. We're going to make the custard mix. So this is well easy. It's quite similar to the custard recipe I did on my homemade custard, if you've watched that. Except for we're not going to use flour and we're not going to recook it because it's going in the oven. So what we're going to do is I've got 400 millilitres of milk. I'm using like the Jersey milk, like the really, it's like higher fat content than even blue milk. It's like the gold top milk. It's really nice. It's basically like almost like cream, but it's really nice. And I've just got 4 egg yolks, 50 grams of caster sugar. Now what I was going to do, this is where you split a nice vanilla pod, put the seeds and the stalks in there. But they sold out. I went to the shop and they had no vanilla whatsoever. So I'm having to just use some rubbish shop brought stuff, but hopefully your local supermarket sells vanilla and you can put proper vanilla in there. I couldn't even get a decent extract. Nightmare. I've had a nightmare today, guys. So all we're going to do is just drop about 2 teaspoons worth in there. If you're using the good stuff, maybe 1 teaspoon, but that is literally the worst. It's literally the worst vanilla you can get. Like, it probably don't even taste like vanilla. It probably tastes like tomato ketchup or something. So, after you've added your vanilla stalks and your vanilla seeds to your really nice custard, so all we're going to do is start bringing this up to the boil. It won't take long. I've got my 4 egg yolks here. I'm just going to bang them in there. And then I've got me 50 grams of custard sugar. And then we're just going to whisk. If you're really lazy, you can use an electric whisk, which is what I normally do. But all you're doing is just whisking until it's like nice and fluffy, and it don't take long. Right, so if you get a look in there, the eggs have gone like nice and foamy. They've got a nice thickness to them. That's exactly how we want them. And then what we want is we don't want to bring this to a really hot boil. We just want it sort of just under boil. Right, so I don't know if you can get a zoom up in this milk, but it's literally just where it's starting to get like the skin on top, and I know that's coming to the boil, so I'm just going to turn that off. So yeah, this is the first time using my nan's new oven. She ordered it like October, got it at the end of December. Absolute nightmare we had with it. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to temper the egg yolks. So this is where we just lightly add the milk a little bit at a time to it, just so we don't scramble them. And this is what's called tempering. We're like slowly increasing the temperature of the eggs as to not scramble them. And you start off slow at first, and then just add more and more as it goes on. And that's looking lovely. And I think that is about done. It's really helpful to have a handle, a saucepan even, for like them nice little drippy things. I'm tipping milk everywhere. And they're really good for pouring. And then that is our custard done. And then all we're going to do is just drop it through a sieve into a jug. Then that foamy stuff there, we can get rid of that. We're going to scrape that off a little bit, but what we're going to do is we're just going to leave that there. Because what all that is, that's all because it's been whisked up, so that'll die down. So we're just going to leave that there, so that's ready to add to our tarts once they're done. Right, so our tart cases things have been in the oven for about 20 minutes. You can see they start to dry out a little bit. So what I'm going to do is just take them out and just have a look at the bottom. The bottom's just getting there. What I'm going to do is blind bake these without these in for a bit, just for about 5 minutes, just to firm up the base. Right, so we're going to just take our cases out, and if you look at them, they start to dry out a bit on top. So what I'm going to do is just trim these up a little bit, and I'm going to bang that oven onto about 7.5 and 8. Right, so once you've trimmed up all your tart cases and they're all looking a lot sexier, we're just going to get our custard mix, and we're going to gently pour it into here. Try and go as much to the top as you can. And then it's in the oven. Gas about 200 degrees, gas mark 7, 8-ish, for about 15 minutes. Oh, I forgot. Ground nutmeg. Little bit of that, just sprinkled on top of each one. How could I forget the nutmeg? That's like the most important thing. You can use fresh nutmeg if you want, but what you need is a really nice microplane to sort of really dust it down, but I ain't got one. So this video is just a story of what Chef Ricky needs and wants and hasn't got. but ground nutmeg works perfectly fine. It's pretty much the same thing. Right, so our egg custards have been in the oven for about 15 minutes. If you have a look at them, look at them. If you give it a shake, it's still got a slight wobble in them. Exactly how you want them. So I'll just turn the oven off. And then all we're going to do is just let them sit at room temperature for about 30 minutes. Right, so once your egg custards have cooled down slightly for half hour, these are still slightly warm. You can see there, look, nice, lovely, crispy bottom. And I'm debating whether to slice it open or just get it straight in my belly. We'll just cut down and look at that, perfectly set. So there you have it, guys, homemade egg custard. They taste great, really nice, just slightly warm still. That's how you want to have them. Fantastic. So try that yourself, guys, let me know how you get on. And until next time, keep on chefing. That was so fun.